This talk about the journey of a lifetime. A lot can be said. A lot can be said. But before dealing with it, I just want to get your minds in a particular place right now. No doubt you guys have paid money to perform Hajj. And in paying that money, there is a customer relationship between you and Sunnah Tours. You are the valued customers, no doubt about that. Sunnah Tours is a company that wants to make a profit because there's a profit to be made. But I can tell from my own experience that that's not the main goal and it's not the main objective of this company. If you go to Hajj with some of these companies that are out there, you get ripped off just like that, and they don't care about you. But you are in safe hands, bi'idhnillah, with a group of people who the main goal and the main objective is to provide a correct Hajj for the people. That's the main goal and that's the main objective. It's your job just to be a person who pays attention, just to be a person who wants to do the right thing. Because Hajj is going to show the reality of who you are. Traveling in Arabic is called as-safar. As-safar. The one who travels is a musafir. Safar means to expose. Like the woman who doesn't wear hijab, that's called safur. The one who is exposed. And they call traveling as-safar because it exposes the reality of people. That's why Umar, not Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Umar ibn al-Khattab, he was sitting with a man and the man said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Umar, you see that man over there? He's a good man. You should employ him. You should make him a part of your cabinet. Umar said, do you know him? Do you really know him? He said, I know him. Umar said, did you travel with him? He said, no. He said, did you eat with him? He said, no. Did you ever do business with him? He said, no. Did you ever sleep with him? And sleeping with him here means when you were traveling, you went to sleep. And then he started to talk while he was asleep about the things that were in his subconscious. It's not the other, did you sleep with him, that these non-Muslims are talking about, or Muslims who are sick, and they come up with that interpretation. Did you sleep with him? He said, no. Umar said, then wallahi, you don't know that man. You don't really know a person until you do those intimate things with him. He said, it may be that you saw him in the masjid going up and down making ruku', and based upon that, you thought he was good. So traveling, you get to see the reality of people when you get tired and so forth and so on. So the point here is, in this religion, as Allah mentioned in the Qur'an, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. We revealed this book to you, Ya Muhammad, the Qur'an, and it makes everything clear. How to get married, how to get divorced, from the time you're born to the time you die, everything in our religion is explained. Traveling, every detail about what to do. The dua before traveling, getting permission before traveling, taking care of your family before traveling, sorting out your debt before traveling, what day to travel, what should you do when you travel, what do you do on the travel, your dua, your prayer shortened, you don't have to fast, many ahkam. When you come back from the trip, you should go to the masjid first, you should do everything you need to know. So if the person doesn't know, it's going to be problems. And this is the first thing I want to bring to your attention about Sunnah Tours, before even talking about this trip of a lifetime. When we travel, the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, الراكب شيطان والراكبان شيطانان والثلاثة ركب. He said, when you travel by yourself, one traveler by himself is a shaitan from Bradford to Birmingham. Two people traveling by themselves, two shaitans. He said 3 people or more, that's the trip. He said anytime you're traveling and you're 3 or more, you have to choose an emir. This group has an emir. And the emir is an individual who we have to listen to him. One of the most important lessons of Hajj is how Islam loves an-nizam and tanzim. Islam doesn't like fawda. Islam doesn't like confusion. You know this Arab Spring? The Arab Spring is confusion. No one in his right mind who understands Islam can possibly think that Islam wants what is going on in the Arab world to be taking place, the instability that's happening now. And then we have people who come and say, no, this is what Islam wants. Islam doesn't want that type of confusion. You go to Hajj, one of the most important lessons of Hajj is nizam. Everyone's going around the Kaaba counterclockwise. 1 million people at the same time. On the bottom, on the second level, on the third level. Everyone is going around. But then from those 1 million people, there are about 20,000 people want to go the other way. Islam doesn't want that. So as a group, we're going to travel. Men and women, elders, youngsters, people who are well, people who have special needs. We're going to travel from here to Heathrow, from Heathrow to Jeddah. We're going to do our trip. While we do our trip, we need respect for the system. Because if the group is saying everybody has to go here and then there and then there, and then someone decides, I'm not doing it that way, we create problems. So from this point on, inshallah, I want to call you to something in terms of how you're thinking. You are the valued customers of Sunnah Tours. They value your comfort. They value your opinion. They value your custom, the fact that you came to them. You're all valued. But before you are customers, you are our brothers and sisters. As Allah mentioned in the Qur'an, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are believers. The believers are brothers, one to another. So me being African American, anybody, Arab, Pakistani, anybody has a problem with accepting and embracing me as his brother because of my color or my ethnic group, you have a problem with this religion. Here's a white person who used to be a Jew. He came into Islam, and we found out he was a Jew. He came into the religion. I have a problem with him because he used to be a Jew. You have a problem with your religion. The believers are brothers, and we have to look at each other like that. So the ladies on the other side, this lady is my aunt, that lady is my sister, this one over here is my cousin, this is the elder brother. So I'm here to do what? I'm here to try to help everybody, and everybody should be here to try to help me. So what I'm trying to get at right now, as I speak about this monumental journey, you are customers, but we're brothers and sisters. Yawm al-Qiyamah, that's the thing that Allah is going to ask us about. So if you're with your brothers and sisters, you're going to behave. You're going to have more concern. You're going to be more sensitive because that's your brother, your blood brother, and so on. That's all we're asking you, brothers. We're not going to treat anybody here like a kid. We're not going to treat you in a disrespectful way. Your comfort is important to us, to the best of our ability. But what I'm asking from you on your side is just to practice Islam. We have an Amir. I was supposed to go at 3:30. I had to go to the Amir, and I had to say to him, would you allow me to go first? Had he said, no, we want you to stay here for the rest of the day, I'd have had to do that. Because this Amir is the Amir that you have to listen to and you have to obey in the religion. He is a person you have to listen to and obey. Like the husband is the Amir in his house. His wife has to listen to him. He gets the final say. His children, you have to listen to your father. He gets the final say. The Amir of this trip, as long as he doesn't order us to do what's haram, we have to listen to him. So some of you young brothers, when we arrive, inshallah, in Mecca, you're going to be pumped up, you're going to be fired up, you're going to be ready to go make Umrah right away. And you can do that. But there are some people who can't do that. So the Amir may say to everybody, hey, you guys, pump your brakes. The system is, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then go to Umrah. Don't be a person who blows up the spot with an attitude and say, I'm doing my own thing. Me, myself, and I. that will destroy your Hajj. And we're going to come to that, inshallah. Again, I repeat, I reiterate. All we're asking of everybody here, men and women, just practice the religion. In the issue of obeying the Amir. And the Amir, he has other people who are part of the people who are responsible. You have to listen to them. You have to obey them. So please, guys, please. I'm not here to put anybody down or say, we want to be dictators over you. It's just that these people have made Hajj many times. And due to their experience and their expertise, they're going to get you in and out of things that you wouldn't know how to do it yourself. So let's just be a family and a group. That's the main thing in our minds. As it relates to the Hajj being a monumental journey, we have all traveled. Everybody here has traveled. And we took different kind of trips. Some people traveled for rest and relaxation, the holiday. Some people traveled in order to get medical treatment. Some people here travel for education. Some of us, we migrated from countries where we used to live, where we were born, and we traveled here. Different kinds of trips. But this is a unique trip. The trip from your place of residence to Mecca and Medina is a special trip. It's unique, a monumental trip. It's a trip where you are about to complete the last rukn from the arkan of al-Islam. The Prophet, he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, buni al-Islam ala khams. This religion was built upon 5 pillars. Built upon 5 pillars. And one of them is al-Hajj. This year, we did Ramadan. Just passed a few months ago. Ramadan, 18 and a half hours every day, 30 days we fast. And if you were like me, it was the best Ramadan that I can remember fasting in the West. Because of the effort that you put forward, those long hours, it was the best Ramadan for me, spiritually, in the way I felt. I came out of Ramadan feeling I did something. With all the drama we have in our lives, all of the challenges, when you get an opportunity to practice this religion and to make efforts, at the end of the day, you feel like, alhamdulillah, I did something for Islam. So now with this Hajj in the same year that we just performed that monumental Ramadan, Allah blessed you people and chose you people. So look at this Hajj as being an extension to that jihad that you made. It's a monumental trip. You're going to complete your religion with this. Also, concerning the trip of Al-Hajj is the fact that whenever you traveled before and you spent money, that money is gone. It's not coming back to you. You chalk it up as a loss. It's gone. When you go for vacation, you're going to pay money to go get rest and relaxation. That money is not coming back. But it's okay. It's an investment. As for the money that you pay for this monumental trip, it's coming back to you. Not in the form of money, but in the form of ajr and thawab. And only Allah knows how big it's going to be. Because anyone who spends in the cause of Allah for something, Allah will take what he spent, £1, and it goes from £1 to £10 up to 700 or even more. So if you give £1, it's going to be in your mizan 10 pounds up to 700 or more. Only Allah determines that. So the Prophet told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ma naqasa malu min sadaqatin qat. Anyone who gave money for sadaqah, his money was never decreased as a result of sadaqah. He said about Hajj and Umrah, innahuma yanfiyan al-faqr wal-dhanub. When you make Hajj and Umrah pushes away and eradicates poverty and your sins. One of the benefits of making Hajj and Umrah is that Hajj and Umrah is a way to increase your wealth. There are things that you can do in Islam that increase your wealth. And one of them is this, to perform Hajj, to perform Umrah. So some lady came to the house of our mother, Aisha, radiallahu anha, and gave her a sheep as a gift. Aisha, being a woman who was a mutasaddiqah, she took that sheep, had it slaughtered, and distributed all of the sheep to the fuqara and the masakeen, and she only kept the shoulder of the sheep for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he used to love the shoulder more than any other part of the sheep. Scholars of Islam said there's medicinal value. The fact that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ate the shoulder, there's some benefit in the shoulder that's not in the rest of the animal. For those of you who want to eat meat, go for the shoulder, because the sunnah always shows you what is good. Ali was sitting with the Nabi. Ali, the Prophet started eating some dates. Ali wanted to eat those dates. Prophet Muhammad said, Ali, you were sick. Don't eat these dates. Although dates are beneficial, he said, don't eat these dates, but instead eat this. And he gave him some bread made out of barley and some beetroot. So the sunnah is always going to give you what's beneficial. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله والرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم. O you who believe, answer the call of Allah and His Messenger when they call you to that which will give you life. The sunnah will give you life at Hajj. Going against the sunnah will cause you to die and kill other people as well. Physically, it will cause you to die and kill other people. And if you don't take the sunnah, you'll die clearly in your heart, spiritually. But the point is about Hajj and Umrah. When the lady gave the sheep to Aisha, she kept the shoulder, being sensitive to what her husband likes. So the husband, sensitive what the wife likes, and she's sensitive to what he likes. He came home. He said, did anything happen today? She said, yes, Rasulullah, someone came, they gave us a sheep. What did you do with the sheep? She said, I gave it all away. Sadaqah, distributed all of it. And nothing remains except the shoulder. I kept the shoulder for you. That remains. Prophet Muhammad said, no. Everything of the sheep remains with us. The only thing that doesn't remain with us is the shoulder. Because after we eat this shoulder, what happens after the food is digested is going to happen to the shoulder. But the other meat that was given in sadaqah, we're going to catch it yawmul qiyamah. So the money that you spent, it is investment for your akhirah. Don't even think about it anymore. It's gone, but you'll get it. Monumental journey. It's also a monumental journey, ikhwani, in this tremendous hadith of Abdullah bin Abbas. And Abdullah bin Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, he was only 16, 17 when the Prophet died. Many of us think he was some old man, 40, 50 years old. He was just a young man. The Prophet was riding on his animal, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Abdullah bin Abbas was right behind him. And that's a proof of the humility of the Nabi. And that's the proof that he was connected to the youth. This thing about our culture where we're disconnected to the youth because the culture is saying young people have to respect the elders, and that's true. But respecting the elders doesn't mean that there's a disjoint and a barrier between us and them. The boy was sitting close, holding on, close. Show me some leader today that will allow someone to touch him like that. He said, hey, young boy, I'm going to teach you some things. Remember Allah, Allah, remember you, remember Allah. Allah will be in front of you. If you ask of Allah, and he went to tell him a few things. And then he said in this long hadith, and this is the point, فَعْلَمْ, you have to know Abdullah ibn Abbasin. ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وإنما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. Everything and anything that hits you in life, it wasn't going to miss you. You couldn't have missed it. And whatever was designed to miss you, it wasn't going to hit you. This hadith is talking about the qadr. We believe in the qadr, predestination. Us sitting here right now, Allah wrote it down 50,000 years before He created the heavens and the earth. Prophet Muhammad said Allah created Adam, took from Adam's loins all of his children. Allah had a light thrown out. The light hit some of them, and the light missed others. Allah's Prophet said, those who the light hit, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on that day, they weren't even on the earth yet. They didn't even get created yet. Those who the light hit are from the people of Al-Jannah. Those who the light missed, they're the people of the hellfire. And they didn't even come to the earth yet. We ask Allah to make us all from the people of Al-Jannah. I hope that light hit all of us. Al-Qadr. What was meant for you, it won't miss you. What was meant to miss you, it won't hit you. So what's the point? The monumental journey. Every 1,000 people that Allah has created, 999 are in the hellfire, non-Muslims. So the vast majority of people are non-Muslims. So majority in Islam is frowned upon. وَلَكِنْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Most of them they are not believers. وَأَكْثَرُهُمْ بِرَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ. Most of them disbelieve. وَأَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. Most of them don't give thanks. وَلَئِنِ اتَّبَعْتَ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يَدُلُّوكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. If you follow the majority of the people on the earth, they're going to send you astray. So we don't pay a big attention to the majority. You go to Hajj, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. That's not your religion, everybody's doing it. And the Sunnah Tours, what we want to do is to show you what the companions did. Not what everybody else is doing. So, as it relates to this monumental journey, all of these people have been created and they died up until this day. Most of them didn't go to the Kaaba. You people are going to the Kaaba. It's a monumental journey in that Allah has invited you and you answered the call and now you're on your way. It's monumental. So what did the Prophet say, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said in an authentic hadith, Al-Hajj wal-Mu'tamir waftullah da'ahum fa'ajabuhu wasa'aluhu fa'atahum. People who perform Hajj and Umrah, they are the delegation of Allah, like United Nations. Like in Pakistan government, there's a delegation that comes here to the UK. The Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Transportation. They're in delegation representing their country. He said the one who makes Hajj and Umrah, they're the delegation of Allah. Allah invited them and they came. They asked him and he gave to them. So you people are representing your parents, you're representing your community, your masjid. You're not just going to Mecca, Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik. You're representatives that if you go there, it's special. And when you come back, inshallah, and people throw you parties and dinners, part of that is because you represented your community. You represented your families. Ikhwani, this thing about Hajj is bigger than what we think it is. And you have to start thinking like on those lines. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Allah has the right over all people, all Bani Adam, that they make the Hajj to the house. Anyone who has the chance to do so, the ability. And he chose you people. Now, if you're going to go and perform this Hajj, and you're going to take care of this last pillar of Islam, and so forth and so on, you have to rest assured, as you're sitting there, Shaitan, he wants to rip you off. He wants to rip you off. He wants to jam you up. The Nabi of Islam told us, sallallahu, every child that is born, a shaitan comes and pokes him in the side. So the kid screams out. The only two people this didn't happen to was Isa ibn Maryam and his mother Maryam. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhima. That's the only two people. It happened to everybody else. Ibrahim, Yaqub, Ismail, Yusuf, Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Everybody. He said these are the only two people. Special characteristics of these two human beings. The point here is, why does Shaitan poke the innocent kid in the side? Pokes him in the side to say, I'm your enemy and I'm here to destroy you. Innocent. He can't do anything. What is that kid going to do? Put everybody on the sunnah? He's going to change the condition of the world? He can't do anything. Can't even speak. But the shaitan comes and he pokes him in the side to say to him, I'm going to destroy you. So the Quran said that shaitan, he comes to the person on his right, on his left, from in front, from behind, from under, every direction. But it didn't mention he comes to him from above. Because Allah is over the 7 heavens, over his throne, in a way that befits his majesty. So it's up to the slave to keep that connection. The connection of a tawheed between him and Allah, a dua between him and Allah, to keep the connection of a salat, him and Allah. And that ayah of the Qur'an, Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Qur'an, وَاعْتَسِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Be united collectively, all together. Hold on to the rope of Allah, hablullah, all together, and do not be divided. Prophet Muhammad says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hablullah huwa al-Qur'an al-mumdad al-mamdud min as-sama'i ila al-ard. He said the rope of Allah in this ayat is the Qur'an that extends from the earth all the way to the sky, up. Shaitan can't come between you and Allah. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. If my servant asks you about me, Muhammad, I'm close to them. All they have to do is look up and ask. So he wants to rip everybody here off. One word, Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, he's from the companions. His mother, when he died, he was about to die, his mother said, Ya Sa'd, ibshir, be happy, don't worry, you're going to go to Jannah. Prophet Muhammad used to say so many good things about Sa'd to his companions. If Sa'd, the Prophet said, if anyone were to escape the squeezing in the grave, it would have been this companion. But everybody's going to get it. He said the mindil, you know, the handkerchief of Sa'd in Al-Jannah is better than everything in the world, everything. He says so many things about Sa'd, so many things. He was about to die. His mother said, Sa'd, abshir, you're going to go to Jannah. Rasulullah heard her. Rasulullah said, Ya Sa'd, ma yudri. Sa'd, how do you know he's going to go to Jannah? It may be that Sa'd said one word that he wasn't supposed to say. As a result of that, he goes to the hellfire 70 years. And that's what Shaitan wants to do to us. But we have an opportunity on this monumental journey to do something that, wallahi, there are no other opportunities like Al-Hajj. It is an ibadah like no other ibadah. There's an ayah of the Quran that says, وَلِكُلٍّ وِجْهَةٌ هُوَ مُوَلِّيهَا فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Allah said he has put everybody on their path. So get on your path, stay in your lane, and be in a race to do good. So this brother, he gives dawah ila Allah. That's his path. That brother over there, he memorized the Quran, so he's teaching the Quran. That's his path. This one over here, he doesn't give talks, and he doesn't know the Quran, but he spins fi sabilillah. And this brother over there, he's the best son to his mother and his father. And that one over there, he cleans the masjid. That one over there, he gives the adhan. That one over there, if the mu'adhin doesn't come, he comes. Everybody has his lane. Get in your lane and do your job. And don't be worried about what guy over there in his lane. You get in your lane on this trip. You get in your lane. So everybody has something that he likes. This one likes praying, that one likes fasting, that one likes sadaqah. Al-Hajj is an ibadah unlike any other ibadat. Just like Ramadan. We need Ramadan because we become better people. Ramadan is forced on us. It's wajib. We have to do it. And we become better people. We start to watch what we say. We start to behave. Because we don't want our Ramadan just to go like that. So we become better people. We have our laps. We go up and down. Iman is like that. But for the most part, you're going to tell me the way we are today is the way we were in Ramadan? This past Ramadan, after Ramadan was over, the next Saturday, the first Saturday, I did a nikah for an Asian group of people. We did a nikah in a very expensive place, a very nice place. And wallahi, when I looked at the people, not to judge anybody, it was as if there was no Ramadan. It was as if Ramadan didn't even come the way the people were, the way we were. So we are not the same people today the way we were in Ramadan. Hajj is like that. And you're only going to know it when you get there, inshallah. And doing the Hajj, it's going to be a struggle. Hajj is not a walk in the park. Hajj is not a walk in the park. It is a struggle. But when you finish it and you come back, you say, oh man, I wish I was in Hajj again. Soon as you get on that plane and you hit Heathrow Airport and you start seeing all of the fitna, you say, oh man, I wish I could do this Hajj again. So in concluding, Ikhwani, I want to mention a few things, and I got to be done here. Although many of you are going to Hajj for the first time, in reality, you have been there already. Everybody has been over there. Oh, everybody. Everybody. George Bush was there. Obama was there. Obama's mama was there. Everybody was in that area. In Surah Al-A'raf, Al-A'raf. Let me hear you say A'raf. I'm going to say it and you have to say, we got to be united. I got to start practicing. How are we going to get united? Al-A'raf. Good job, good job. Surah Al-A'raf, ayat 172. Allah mentioned, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا شَهِدْنَا بَلَى شَهِدْنَا أَن تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّا كُنَّا هَذَا غَافِلِينَ. And remember, Allah said, and remember when your Lord took from Adam out of his loins all of his children, and Allah placed them and caused them to bear witness on themselves. Allah said to all of them, am I not your Lord? All of them said, yes, you are our Lord. Allah says, so you don't come Yawm al-Qiyamah and you say, I didn't know anything about that. And then they were put back inside of the loins of Adam. This hadith, this ayat, has been explained by the Sunnah. And this is important. Please listen to this point. The importance of the Sunnah is one of the most important lessons of Hajj. Without the Sunnah, you wouldn't know how to make Hajj. Without the Sunnah, you don't know how to make Salah. You don't know how to fast. So those people who call themselves the Qur'aniyun, who started in India, a person who believes, he's sitting there, he believes, just give me the Qur'an, not the Sunnah. That is a lie, a massive lie. And you're a fake Muslim too. And you don't want to meet Allah Azza wa Jalla with that nonsense. What are you being? You're philosophical on some Socrates stuff. You won't know how to perform Hajj without the Sunnah. You won't know how to explain and understand the Qur'an without the Sunnah. Prophet Muhammad said about this ayat, when Allah created Adam, Allah took out of Adam's loins all of his children and placed them at Arafah. And he said to them, Alastu bi rabbikum, and I'm not your Lord? They all said, yes, la ilaha illallah. So you don't come Yawm al-Qiyamah and you don't say you didn't know anything about that. And then he put them back in the loins of Adam. So the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah said in the Hadith al-Qudsi, إِنِّي خَلَقْتُ عِبَادِيَ كُلُّهُمْ حُنَفَاءَ فَاجْتَالَتْهُمْ الشَّيَاطِينَ عَنْ دِينِهِمْ. I created all of my servants, Hunafa, Hanif. Every child is born with the natural fitrah, disposition to say La ilaha illallah. Not only that, every child, human being, is born to look up and to raise his hands up. It's planted in your fitrah. His mother and his father make him a Jew, his environment. His mother and his father start making him think a dead person can answer his dua. His mother and his father start giving him khurafat and crazy ideas. But his fitrah, if just left like that, in the jungle, in the desert, just like that, he's just left. He's going to grow up looking up, knowing that there is one God that created all of this. His mother and his father, his environment mess up stuff. So the point here is, everybody has been there. But now you guys are going back on your choice, from your own choice. And that's why in those ayat, where Allah Ta'ala told the malaika to bow down to Adam, and the malaika said, shall we bow down to one who's going to make mischief in the earth? He's going to shed blood, and we worship you? Allah said, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamu. I know what you don't know. I know from these Bani Adam are prophets and messengers. I know from Bani Adam are awliya. I know from Bani Adam are some people who are going to make Hajj. And they're going to go to Arafat. And they're just going to have a towel, an ihram on, and they're going to be in the middle of the desert. And they come from Europe, where the life is good. And they're going to come in the middle of this hot desert, and they're going to stand there, and they're going to be crying, asking. And that's why Allah Ta'ala, on this day of Arafat, He does what? He frees more people from the hellfire on Arafat than any other day. because you're going back to that place that you were there already. So don't let Arafat come and go. It's one of the most important aspects of Hajj. The Prophet said, Al-Hajj Arafat. Arafat is Hajj. If you miss Arafat, you don't make Hajj. You got to come back and do it again. So in closing, I want to address 4 people from this community. You guys who are making Hajj. I'm going to do it real quickly. I'm almost done. I want to talk to 4 categories of people who are making Hajj. The first category are those of you who have performed Hajj before. If you made Hajj or Umrah, put your hand up. If you made Hajj or Umrah, put your hand up. Okay. When you made Hajj and Umrah, do you know that it was accepted? No, you don't know. Was this past Hajj accepted? No, we don't know. Never be a person who's living in life and you just think everything you do, Allah accepts it. You have to be afraid that He didn't accept it, because you may be doing something that renders your action null and void. Or you may not be doing something that you should be doing, and because you're not doing it, it renders your actions null and void. You can make Hajj every year, but if you're bad to your parents, uquq al-walidain, bad to your parents, kills your deeds and your actions. Prophet Muhammad asked the people, Atadruna man al-muflis? Do you know who the bankrupt person is from our ummah? They say, yes, Ya Rasulullah, the bankrupt person is the one who doesn't have no money and he has no property. He said, no, that's not the bankrupt person. The bankrupt person for my ummah is the one who will come Yawmul Qiyamah with a mountain full of prayer, a mountain full of zakat, Som and Hajj, but he hit this one. He oppressed that one. He shed his blood. He talked bad about that one. He did this. So Yawmul Qiyamah, they're going to take from his stuff. They're going to take his Hajj. They're going to take his Salah. And then if he was a real oppressor, he has a business, he doesn't pay his workers, and he's going to Hajj. Alhamdulillah, go to Hajj. To make Tawbah, to come back, stop being like that. That man is going to take your Hajj. And if you work for someone like that, and he's going to Hajj, you should smile in his face and say, Inshallah, go to Hajj. I hope it's going to be okay for you. I hope Allah gives you good health, because I want your Hajj. So he goes to Hajj, and all of those deeds get taken from him. And then if they're exhausted, as you know, before the people get their haqq, their bad deeds get thrown on him. So those of you who performed Hajj before, are you sure it's accepted? No. And then when you go to Hajj for the first time, and you go with a group, unlike Sunnah Tours, you may do things the wrong way. So this Hajj is an opportunity for you guys to perfect your Hajj. The ayat of the Quran said, قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ? Are they equal, those who know and those who don't know? That's a rhetorical question. It doesn't require an answer. Are those who know like those who don't know? So when you make Hajj for the first time, you're not like the one who never made Hajj before. You're anxious when you never make Hajj. This information they're going to give you right now, it may overwhelm some of you. You start biting your nails saying, hey, this is too much. I say, just relax. Don't get overwhelmed with the information. When you get there, we're going to take care of you, inshallah. So for you people who've done this, inshallah, there's a lot of benefit in making a double Hajj. Even the Prophet used to tell the people, Tabi'u al-Hajj wal-Umrah bil-Hajj wal-Umrah. Keep making Hajj after Hajj and Umrah after Umrah, because it is a kafara. The 5 prayers that you make, the mistakes you make between Fajr and Dhuhr, between Dhuhr and Asr, between Asr and Maghrib, Maghrib and Isha, each prayer that you make wipes away the sins that you did since the last prayer. Ramadan to Ramadan wipes away the sins. Hajj to Hajj, Umrah to Umrah. So inshallah, you guys fit that. Second group that I want to make a special mention here are the women. Special kalam, special shout out, special acknowledgement to the sisters. Hey guys, listen to this. This is important. How many of you are going with a woman? How many of you are going with a woman? May Allah help you all. Pay attention to this. That's why I'm choosing this thing. Pay attention, guys. There was a companion. His name was Anjasha. Anjasha. You can spell it A-N-J-A-S-H-A. Anjasha. I'm going to say his name and you're going to say it again. Anjasha. Come on, guys, we got to be together like a family, you know, unity. Anjasha. Many people don't know who he was. This companion, Anjasha, it was his job that when they used to travel, he was in front of the caravan. And he used to hum. And he would hum in a way to determine the speed of the caravan. If he sped up the hum, the camels would go according to what they heard. So maybe Anjasha will say, No, he didn't say something like that. Because some of you were saying, was that song there back then? Some of you were sitting there and saying, wow, that's where that song came from. That's from the Sunnah. But that humming would make, you get the picture. One day he was humming on the trip and they were going fast. Rasulullah was in his canopy. That's the thing that covers you when you're riding. He put his head out. He said, Ya Anjasha, rifqan bil qawarir. Hey Anjasha, take it easy and be gentle with the fragile vessels, with the bottles. So you know if you have Coca-Cola bottles or expensive bottles and they're all in some kind of container holding them, you know that sound they make, like the milkman, and the bottles are there. It makes that sound and they're jingling. If there's too much, they'll crack. Rasulullah say, hey, Anjasha, have mercy on the fragile vessels. Have mercy on them while you're traveling. Have mercy upon them when they're in your house. Have mercy upon them as you live with them. Take care of those fragile vessels. Prophet Muhammad said about traveling. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as-safar qit'atun min al-adab. Traveling is a piece of punishment. One of you is prevented from your food and your drink. So once you finish your trip, hurry up and get back home. So when you travel, you're going to eat food you're not used to eating. You're going to drink and eat what you don't like. You're going to sleep. It's tough. Don't be out there. Don't be there on Hajj, Umrah, complaining. Because you're going to have nice hotels. But Mina, Muzdalifah, Arafah. We're supposed to be in a tent that has a, what do you call that? Air conditioning. When I came in, it was cold. We asked them, hey, turn that off. At Mina and in Arafah last year, we were supposed to get air conditioning. They didn't give it to us. It's not our fault. We can't do anything about it. When we got in that tent, we couldn't breathe. It was as if the heat was a creation by itself. That when you went in that tent, he just came around you and just grabbed you. And when we went in that tent and I looked at the people who never made Hajj, although many of them were from Pakistan, where it's really hot. Some were from Africa. But we're just not used to that heat. And then when you go, you start complaining. The women. Listen, guys. Making Hajj with a woman is not easy. The woman said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Aisha said, Ya Rasulullah, you men making jihad, and you get all the rewards. Real jihad. Not this ISIS nonsense, not this Boko Haram nonsense, Al-Qaeda, not this stuff. Real jihad of Islam that we don't apologize, but it has its right time, its right place, and its right people. Ya Rasulullah, we women, we want to make jihad. Prophet Muhammad told Aisha, you women, you do have a jihad. It's a jihad, there's no fighting in it. Women don't go for jihad with weapons. He said, your jihad is al-Hajj and Umrah. That lady has to get it in her mind right now. You getting ready to go to jihad, sister. You're going to use a community toilet, akramakumullah. You're going to sleep a particular way, and because she's a woman, the Qur'an said, "Laysa dhakru kal untha." The man is not like the woman. She has that time a month. Had it not been for the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, we owe a debt to them. This is one of the lessons of Hajj, the importance of the companions. When the Prophet went to make Hajj, everybody wanted to come. Everybody. When he went to make Hajj, there were women with him. Abu Bakr's wife had a baby right before leaving. She had a baby. So she had postnatal bleeding with a baby. And she made her niyyah. Prophet Muhammad told her what to do. And she traveled from Medina to Mecca back then and came back again. And you're going to be crying about, oh, it's so hot. Arafat is so hot. Oh, I want my bed to be imported from Bradford all the way to Mina so I can have a good night's sleep. And that lady, after having a baby, went from Medina all the way to Mecca and back again in that heat on a camel or a horse. Abu Bakr's daughter, Asma, she was pregnant. She went all the way to Mecca, made Hajj, came back, and she had a baby before going into Medina, right before Medina. She gave birth to Abdullah ibn Zubair, one of the 6 companions who narrated the most hadith. Abdullah ibn Zubair, the son of Az-Zubair ibn Awam, 10 people promised Jannah. Asma. Had it not been for those women on Hajj, we wouldn't have known about those ahkam. Prophet Muhammad came to the Kaaba. Aisha was crying. He said, what are you crying for? She said, my periods came, Ya Rasulullah. He said, don't cry. That's the sunnah of Allah in Adam's daughter. Do everything that the pilgrim does, but don't make tawaf. So the women in our religion, especially from the companions, they helped us know our religion. But Sunnah Tours, we pay special concern to making it easy for the women, because the group is as strong as the weakest link. We're not going to judge what we can do and what we should do based upon this young brother, 23, 24. 24-year-old guy can do anything. We're going to base it upon the one who has special needs, the women. We're going to base it upon the weak ones. You know, if you travel from here to London, they say in Arabic, as-saghir huwa al-amir. As-saghir, the little person is the amir. He's the amir. He's going to determine I have to hurry up and get to London. But my kid in the back seat say, Abby, I got to go to the toilet. I can't say to him, hey man, you better hold that. You better hold on to that. He say, Abby, I'm telling you, I got to go to the toilet, Abby. If I don't want a bigger problem, I better pull over to the side and go ahead and let my man do what he has to do, because he's the amir, the young one, the weak one. And that's our thinking. And you brothers who have these women, be patient. Shaitan can destroy your Hajj through the closest person to you. You don't want to fight your wife on the day of the Eid. You don't want to argue with your wife at the Hajj. The third one, 3 minutes and I'm done, inshallah. The third group. The third group are the couples that are here. How many of you going with your wife? With your wife. Because some of you may be going with your sister, your auntie. How many going with your wife? Okay, guys. Hey, listen to me. I know your culture. I'm sensitive to your culture, okay? But you have to listen to me and expand your mind a little bit. You got to make this Hajj an opportunity to reconnect to your wife and your husband and to recommit to your marital vows. You know, you've been your wife so many years and you had so much issues going, you went through, good and bad, up and down. Hajj, Mecca is one of the most romantic places you want to be with your spouse. When Jibril came to the Prophet ﷺ and he brought those ayat, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, you know where that happened at, right? That happened in Mecca. And you're going to see that place. It's called Mount Hira in Mecca. Khadija supported him, supported her husband. And he was appreciative. Mecca is a place of love. And when I say romantic, I'm not talking about Bollywood, all that stuff. The man is on the 25th floor, and they fighting, and they throw the girl out of the window, and he beats up 30 people inside, and he runs all the way downstairs, gets on the motorcycle, starts it up, and catches her. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about romance of Islam, the Islamic romance. So, I advise you, brothers, you're making tawaf around the Kaaba. It's permissible for you to touch your wife without shahwa or desires, to protect her from other people. She's between you. You have her hand, keeping her close to you. It's permissible. You have to grab her hand, and when you're going around, very gently squeeze her hand, and you look at her and you say to her, thank you for everything. Thank you for my babies. Thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you for everything. And she has to say that back. And you too, you've taken care of me. and you have some good qualities, and I want to thank you. They get around, they keep going. He squeezes her hand again. He looks her right in the eye, and he said, look, man, I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry. All that drama, I'm sorry. My family, the way they dealt with you, what I've done, not being sensitive, putting you through that, I'm sorry. She said, yeah, me too, I'm sorry. And the one who knows he did the most is the one who has to give the most. Apologies. The third time he goes around, he squeezes her hand, he looks at her right in her eyes. And he said, hey, mommy, I really love you. I love you. You could say that at the Kaaba, yo. Prophet Muhammad said the tawaf around the Kaaba is salat. But Allah allowed you to speak in it. So only say what's good. Make dhikr, make dawah, and say these things to your mate. So you people who are going with your families, this is a golden opportunity to reconnect. Lastly, how many people here are performing Hajj? You did it before, but you're going to make Hajj for your mother or your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, some relative that died or they can't make Hajj. How many of you are doing that this time? All right, 2 people. You 2 are the ones that I have the most jealousy for and the most ghibta. Jealousy, hasad. Prophet Muhammad said, La hasada illa fitnatain. You can't be jealous except in 2 circumstances. A person that Allah gave him knowledge, he teaches that knowledge. So you wish I could be like that. I wish I knew the Qur'an like him. I don't want it to be taken away from him. The second person is the one who gives sadaqah and he spends it in the cause of Allah. I wish I could have money to do that. So anyone who's doing good and you say, I wish I can do like that, it's from Islam. It's the permissible jealousy, envy, not the haram one that's running rampant in our community. Some of us are jealous of other people. Anyway. One of the best ibadas in Islam is birru walidain. Obeying your parents and being good to them while they're living and while they're dead. The man came, Ya Rasulullah, what's the best deed in Islam? He says, salat at its right time. Okay, then after that, Prophet Muhammad didn't say umrah, didn't say hajj. What's the best one after Allah's right? He said, birru walidain, taking care of your mother and your father. The man came, Ya Rasulullah, I want to go to jihad with you. I want to go to jihad. And the Muslims are always the minority. I want to go. You need my hands. Rasulullah said, is your mother living? He said, yes. He said, go to her and make jihad with her. Make jihad with your mother means what? Take care of your mother, man. Be patient with her. Give her money. Make sure she's comfortable. The Quran said, وَصَيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنٍ عَلَى وَهْنٍ. We told mankind, be good to your mother and your father. Because your mother especially, she carried you weakness on top of weakness. 9 months of weakness and you're growing in her belly and she pushed you out and it was difficult. So you two are about to perform Hajj for your parents. Do you know, Akhi, how much I wish my mother was sitting over there on that side? She's a non-Muslim. I can't tell you guys how much I wish my mother was over there with my wife right now about to make Hajj. Or at least just sitting here listening. So what you guys are about to do is tremendous. Out of everybody here, I have the most ghibta, hasad for you two. So I ask Allah Ta'ala to have mercy upon your parents who have died, and to have mercy upon all of our parents who have died, and also to make this a Hajj. Make this a Hajj that you always have the incentive. Yes, I'm tired, but the reward is going to my mother. I'm tired and the reward is going to my father. One brother, his grandmother died giving birth to his mother. So him and his mother are going for Hajj this year, and he's going to perform Hajj on behalf of his grandmother, who his mother never saw. But by Allah's permission, he was given life through Allah, through that lady who died, giving birth to his mother and him. This is what I wanted to present. It went a bit longer than I wanted it to go, but I hope that Allah Azza wa Jal put it in my mizan of hasanat, that you people are encouraged to understand. You have to start getting your mind right as it relates to Hajj. Hajj, it is, you can go shopping and all that, you can see the world, but it ain't about that. Hajj is about worshiping Allah and reconnecting to Allah Azza wa Jalla. So I hope that you have that opportunity to do so. And I just want to take this time out, the last thing to say, these brothers from Keithley are my favorite brothers on the face of the earth in this part of the world, in Europe. I have a lot of love for the brothers from Sunnah Tours. And that's why performing Hajj with them has always been my best Hajj. And that's why I speak from experience and what I believe. These people care about you just as much or even more than they care about whatever the Prophet is. And that's the bottom line with them. And you're going to see that, inshallah. May Allah accept it from us and from you. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I wish and I hope for all of you a Hajj Mabrur, a Hajj Mabrur, and your dhunub or maghfura, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.